Hello, and welcome to another opportunity to coincide with me, I suppose. Whether you're here right now or watching it later, like a few people have. It's been so cool hearing people talking about the stuff that I'm doing and the project that I have for you today. I've been working on a video game called Good Vibes right now. I don't know if I'll change it, but it includes an AI musician, basically a system where you can translate a few numbers into an entire song. A song that will be after the next thing that I do, not today, but after the next thing, randomly improvised in some degree. Uh, I don't yet have a melody generator. I'm going to be doing that probably next because I am really excited about it. And when I get excited about things, I do those things, and they tend to get done to some degree. So I'm really excited about that. But today I figured I'd do a quick overview of how it works and then get into Logic Pro, where we're going to write a song, or at least start writing one, so I can talk about how it works and how you might be able to do the same if you want. Or if you don't want, you can at least listen and hang out with me for a bit. As always, you are welcome to send me a message about anything that you want. I don't have any preferences for that particular thing. You have agency in this situation, and I would love to hear from you, either right now or in the future, in a comment and a message in the Discord, which you can access for free by going to patreon.com/Darian Thomas and joining all of that. I got a bunch of cool stuff over there too. Most of it is free, so I just put it over there because I figure that's a good way to pay you back for paying attention, is to give you a ton of free content. Okay, let me... actually, that's fine. Let me go ahead and show you what I have on my screen. I'm looking at Game Maker Studio 2 right now in my O-Clock and my O-Drums objects. Both of these collaborate to create the backing track and the structure for the songs that we can make. Right now, the O-Clock determines what chord to use. It has everything relative to D being 0, basically. But what you can do is change what root you're building your whatever it is off of. So, for example, if you wanted a diminished chord on A sharp, then you could set it up so your root is this number in the list, and the chord quality is number 2. I think that's 8. Yeah, 8 in the list. So then you can have pretty much any chord. This is infinitely scalable too. We can have any type of chord. I guess technically there's a limit, but we can do pretty much whatever we want. From there, the different instruments or weapons in the Horde Survivor take that information and translate it into sounds that are aligned with their triggering. So, for example, if you have something like Magic Wand in Vampire Survivors, instead of just like a default sound that plays every time it fires, you get notes of a chord, which changes with everything else in the ensemble as you go on. So you can actually, every time you play it, you're more likely than not going to hear a unique, brand new performance of a general idea, which I'm going to show you how to establish today. We're just going to play around with chords, play around with rhythms. Now, from last time, I actually made it so that you can define your own rhythm patterns instead of sitting here trying to write down every single rhythm pattern I can think of. Instead, now I have it set up so that you can create your own script in whatever song you want to do. We're going to work with song test today just so we can test it. But if we pull this up, we'll see all of our rhythms are defined here. I'm going to replace all of this after we write something and see what we want it to be. And then I have it saved over for song 0 so that that one still works. There is Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think there's a chance that you could break it by putting in the wrong value because it wraps over itself. So it'll play the wrong one, but it still won't crash the game. I believe, I don't know, we'll see. I encountered a bug yesterday where the enemies stop spawning with the pause state being a specific scenario. I don't know. I hope I fixed it, but if that happens, there is a button to get out of it, so that's also an option. That said, what we're going to do today is go over to Logic Pro. We're going to create some rhythms. We're going to decide what chords we want to do. And if we come up with any new chord qualities, then we'll go ahead and add those. And then we're going to translate that to the song scripts so that we can actually have a method of composition, a whole workflow for adding new songs to this. So how that's going to translate, we're going to write something and then redefine all of this in the song test rhythm script. We're going to redefine that. And then redefine in the song test script as well. As right now, this is our song, and it sounds absolutely ridiculous mostly because of the 12 there, which is a wild performance of kick patterns. So I'm actually going to, I don't have to save it, already saved recently. We're going to exit that. You're going to see my desktop for a second. And then we're going to go over to Logic Pro, which I have ready for us, ready to go. I'm actually going to write with D as the root. Because you can actually, by changing one variable in my game, you can transpose it to any root that you want. It's going to become more robust, I think, over the next week. So I'll show you what I end up doing with that. But for now, let's go ahead and make a chord progression. So the game currently, and again, I'm going to change this part, but the game currently is in 4/4. So there are 4 beats, 4 measures. You can have as many measures per section as you want. Usually I go for collections of 8, but we'll just start with 4, and I'll give you a brief overview of how that's going to play out. So for our root, let's see. If you can, you let me know if you hear that. I would love for you to be able to. I might be able to increase it for myself, but let me turn this up just in case. Make sure you can hear it. It looks really low, so maybe. Oh, cool. It's doing that now. Fun. All right. I guess it's just stuck on now. I've never encountered that before. That's pretty cool. All right, so we start off with D. My friend says, great to be here this evening. Well, I'm glad to have you here as well. I remember you were telling me you'd watched the, you do hear it. Perfect. Yeah. Okay, cool. You were telling me you watched the other streams I did. This one, like I said, going to be a little different, but thank you for the feedback. I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and decide what key we're going to be working with. I think what I want to do in the beginning is we're going to start with, I don't know, I'm just feeling D minor. So we're going to do the D minor chord in the beginning with root 0. So that's what we have there. When we go to the next part, I want to go up to F. We're going to do a major chord there. So it'll be the major, the 3, built on the 3 chord. And I'm just going to write it out like this because we basically have, for at least Insight, that weapon currently, it can do 2 octaves, but I haven't coded it to switch to those yet. So it's only 1 octave wrapped over itself. So we'll be doing different inversions up here, and then if we actually want the bass to do something different, I'll code that, and then I'll show you how that works too. But right now we just have 1, to 3, and this is what that sounds like. I want to go to 7 as well right now. So we're going to do C, and that'll be C, E, G is what we end up with up there. And then from C, you know, it'd be really funny. It'd be really funny if we did C7 at that point. That would just sound ridiculous. So we'll add that in. C, E, G, B flat. From there, we can extend this out to 8 measures. Where do we want to go from C7? You know, it'd be even more fun. We did C major 7, and then C7. I don't know. I think it would sound kind of silly, but we're gonna see how it goes. From C major 7, what would be good to do? No, I don't want to move like that. How about we do G major 7. So that ends up being D, F sharp, G, B. So we have those notes converge. We add that diverging. Come back down here to G major 7. From there, I don't know. I'm just coming up with stuff, and then we'll listen to it, see if we like it. We could do... Oh, something I don't have coded yet, actually. We could do G minor with the major 7. And then from there, we can close that out with A major. This is quite the meandering little trip that we take here. But I think it could be good. Let's see how it sounds. We'll turn those off for now. Oh yeah, the major. Okay, well, let's change that to minor 7. Let's see how that goes. Okay, that's all right. I think I want to do C sharp diminished at the end. I was really liking that in the first song that I made up. And I also want to do, instead of this, I actually want to do, go back to D for a second. And we're going to do D major 7. D major 7 instead. Go up to there, go there, and then end up over there. So that'll be different. I don't know if it'll be better, but it'll be different. Let's try that C sharp diminished though. So we'll do C sharp, E, G flat. We'll do the fully diminished, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, that would be minor. 3, 0, 1, 2, 3 from E. So C sharp, of course. There we go. Perfect. That sounds good. Let's see if it actually sounds good. Okay, not too bad. I think maybe this C7 chord is bothering me. Let's see. If we add the 7th there, that ends up building momentum to a place we don't go. So if we're in C, one thing that we could do is drop by A. We could do A, C, E, A minor. That'd be fun. A minor 7 to maintain that. Yeah, it's not too bad. Let's go ahead and give that whole thing a listen. That's pretty nice. Actually, it's very relaxing. I like that. And actually, the default rhythm in my game, the default tempo, I should say, is 90 beats per minute. So it'll actually be a little slower than that. But I wanted to get a sense of what the chord progression feels like before I slow it down. Okay, so the next thing that we can also do at this point, because we don't have a whole lot going on, just choose random drum kit. When we have our, I'm going to put it into patterns like this, actually. So we're going to do, there's an easier way to do this, but I'm going to do it this way. Actually, no, I don't need to do that. Here we go. I think it's a shortcut like that, yeah. Okay, so we're going to have a track for the kick. We're going to have a track for the snare. And we're going to have a track for the hi-hat. There we go. The reason I'm doing this is because what we're going to want to do is take little blocks like this, quantized to 16th notes, but expanded infinitely because of the system I made last week. We're going to take each one of these blocks and translate it into a block of code, an array, in the script for the rhythms of the song that we're building. So that's why I'm framing it this way instead of just having one track. So this will be easy to keep track of. So in the beginning, how about we start with a... Actually, we could do one more. I haven't built it yet, but we might as well. Create a crash track. Okay. Right, back to the kick. So in the beginning, the very first measure... That is way too long. What? It doesn't need to be that long. We are doing 16th notes, which I believe is that. Okay, so we have our grid. In the beginning, how about we have that pattern? Let's add another one here. Let's see that. That's pretty good. A pretty solid pulse to start off on. When we bring in the snare, there are a few things that we can do here. I'm just going to use the snare center. Add a snare right there. Add a snare here. I'm going to get rid of this kick, and we're going to double this. and then probably repeat it again would be my guess. Or at least repeat the kick. Yeah, might as well repeat the snare too. Okay, so for the hi-hat, I only have the hi-hat closed right now, but with the rhythm array that I created, we can actually have the same logic determine whether we're doing a hi-hat open or a hi-hat close, and we can cycle through and set up exactly what I did for the Insight instrument. We can do that with each of the drum parts, pieces, I think. So let's try, we'll just do eighth notes here. I'm going to keep it simple for now. In the beginning, why don't we start with a crash? We'll do crash right. See how that goes. Repeat this again. I think actually I'm going to make a separate snare pattern for this. I'm going to repeat that, go in here. Go over here. Yeah, that's what we want actually. For this pattern, we want this over on 4 because we don't have anything on 4 in the kick, so it'll balance pretty well. Ah, okay. I just had an idea. If we repeat this, put this over here, bring this over here. There we go. Then we can take all of this and repeat that before we get into the second half of this section. So this will probably be like, I don't know, maybe a verse, maybe an intro. Not sure how it'll play out just yet, but this is like the flow of composition. This is how we have this work for us. When we get to the second half, I'm going to try to do something different, but this will be how it begins. Okay, so let's go ahead and number these. Oh, that's not the right button. I don't know what the right button is, so now I have to find that. Oh, it's name and color. Here we go. It's Shift N is what it is. We're going to call that 0. This is 1. This is a repeat of 0. And I think I might actually change this one. We're going to do the same over here. 0, 1, 0. And then this is just 0. I'm actually going to turn off the loop and repeat it manually so that when we're looking at the grid, it'll be a lot easier to determine whether we wrote it down right or not. Okay, so here's what we have. I'm actually going to change the ending there to be a little more of a fill, so we're going to change this to be on 4. And then another one here. Oh, I just remembered how to do that. Perfect. And I'm actually going to put this on the second half of this. which I have specifically coded. So when we rename this, this will be 2. And this will be 2. Oh yeah, we want that actually. This, I think we want the snare instead. Move that to 121, come back over here, and go ahead and put that down. Maybe we double this up. Add in those 30-second notes. Great request from my friend. Speaking of which, if you have any ideas or requests or anything about the development of this game, feel free to let me know. Whether that's gameplay or music, flexibility, interface, whatever the case is. I do have plans for building a system where you can make your own song in the game if you wanted to. But that's a pretty big project. So I'll have to keep you updated on that. Let's see if this sounds good at all. Oh, here we go. We'll change that. We'll add here. This one's going to be 0. This one's going to be 1. In this pattern, we're going to have on the crash right at the very end, we'll have that there. And then we'll have 0 again. Copy, and of course you have to change the playhead so it actually pastes right. And I put it on the wrong line, so that's great. Okay, moved it back. Cool. I think honestly, what we could do is just repeat all of this and then change the end to keep things interesting. So I want to build up to the next section, which will be like a chorus. We're going to alternate between verse to chorus to verse 2 to chorus 2 to bridge, and then background. The song infinitely cycles as it's currently programmed, so that the gameplay loop can go on as long as you want, and you'll still have a soundtrack working and accompanying you. At certain points in the game, I'm going to set it up so that the song changes based on like the introduction of new enemies or anything else I feel like doing. I'm going to have like a boss system as well. I already have everything outlined for that. They're each going to have their own song too. So there's going to be a lot of composing and stuff like this. Good reminder to have some water. But let's see how we want to end this. A little different. Put that on 121. Oh, just copy that. Actually, copy that and paste it over here. And then down here, we have 3. Put that there. Add some syncopation. Why not? See what that sounds like. It sounds like you're tripping. That's what I thought it was going to sound like. So I'm really excited. That's exactly what it sounded like. pretty nice, actually. I really enjoy listening to that. I hope it is a good level for you and isn't like peaking or blasting your ears out, and also isn't indistinguishable from the everyday noise of the world. So I hope that's going well. But I was thinking actually for this chord right here, we actually introduce another crash right there, because we can change this to actually it is just one, right? And does this need it? Yeah, might as well. Try to keep it simple, because the more variations we have, the more work we have to do, basically, and that's what it translates to. So what I'm gonna do next is actually cut this part into measures as well, and rename those. So in the beginning we had D minor, then we had F major, then we had C, I think was it C? It was C, yes. So C major, then we had C major 7, not 4, nope, there we go. C major 7, going over to, I changed it to A minor 7, I think it was, yeah. A minor 7. Oop, I got 8 that time, 7. I'm so bad at those numbers. Going over to G major 7. Yeah. Starting to remember here. I got it that time. Nice. Practice. It'll change everything. Taking us from there over to, it looks like G minor 7. Yeah. And then from there, we have A, not AY. That was close though, A7 is what we ended on. Nope, C sharp diminished. I changed it to that. Okay, so now this right here actually is enough information to make the game do this. It wouldn't do anything else. It would just repeat this again and again and again. So if we want a little bit of variation, we can go ahead and add another section for the chorus. I'm thinking probably the chorus would be cool if, oh, yeah, I see that message. Sounds great. Thank you. It'd be cool if we transitioned to D major, but didn't make it like super happy. Just had a bunch of complex things like, well, I'll show you actually. Why don't we do this? Let me go over here. Back to D. Actually, it's this button I hold and I can do this. We'll go to D major 7 in the next one. From D major 7, we'll check out, what would be good for next? F sharp major. Basically mirroring this, but now we're in major. That'd be cool. Make sure I'm in the right octave here. Now, if we did F sharp major 7, that would be pretty wild. I don't think I want to do dominant 7, so we're going to keep it major 7. I want to see what that sounds like, actually. I don't think I've heard that before. pretty good. I'm a little uncertain if we need that after the major 7. Oh, what if we did, because we had all of those notes, if we had F sharp major with a flat 6, although it's not actually flat. It makes sense if you make sense of it. Let's see what that sounds like. It's carrying over the D from the previous chord. Sounds spooky. That's what I was expecting. Okay, so I don't want that or that or that. Why don't we just leave it at that then? We'll call this one F sharp major. And that one gets a capital M for some reason. The other ones don't. From there, where do we want to take it? Probably G sharp major 7. Following your expectations, what you might anticipate. I say that. Well, let me show you. There you go. Then we could do something even more predictable if we wanted to keep the chorus a little. Well, not that one. Well, I guess that one's named that now. Okay. Keep it predictable, keep it classic in its orchestration. What we can do is go to 5 or no, I think we could just do that and then change the ending of the second one. So if we go from here, we can take it up to A major. And I'm not sure I want to take it to A major 7. Let's listen. Oh, you know, it'd be funky if we added that. Or we carried over the G, which would be A major 7. Oh, interesting. You know, usually it's one note different. It usually goes like this. Which I think is pretty good. I think that actually works pretty well in our favor. But I don't want to continue to feed into expectations at that point. We're going to find an alternative. So A7, that's what we have going on from there. But if instead of A7, we wanted to take it to, oh, I know what we could do. This would be pretty interesting. If from A7, we take it back down to E major. E major 7. And then we take it down to, from E, we could do something ridiculous. Take it up to F. F major 7. Could be interesting. No, I don't like it. We'll get rid of this. Just make it F major. Go to, okay, so let me write this down as I'm doing it. So this one was E major 7. This one was F natural major. And then if we go from F major, what we could do is something a little similar to what we had done previously, but also vastly different at the same time. We could go over to C, have that be C major 7, going down there, adding that. And now let's see what we can do from here. We could do raise this to a C sharp and an A and C sharp. How about we just do what would that be? That would be a 6. I don't really want to do that. What if we did, well, let's just try this. We'll go for something pretty standard to get us back into the other section. Starting from here. Okay. That's pretty fancy. And then we have A major. Okay, so let's hear what our chord progression sounds like from the very beginning. I'll leave in the rhythm for now, and then we'll just see how it feels when we get to the chorus section. Okay, yeah, that's a fun little adventure. I think that'd be cool for the melody generator that I'm going to put together. I think it'd be fun for it to play around with those. Okay, so now that we have this, do I want to do that yet? No, I want to create a rhythm section for it. So we're actually going to do new rhythms here. We'll make sure we're doing the same kick sound. Here we go. And now for this, can we actually reuse? Yeah, I think we can. If we take this, get rid of that, delete this one, and bring back number 0. We might be able to reuse. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Let's go ahead and do this. Oh, okay. All right, let's highlight the right track, put the playhead in the right place, and go ahead and paste it. There we go. Let's repeat that. Now this is going to end up being 3. And then we have 0 in the crash is going to be coming back at measure 9 in the next section. repeat that, and then we'll change it at the end to the transition to the E major 7. Oop, I guess we're listening from back here. And for this one, we're actually going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of these, and we're just going to put one here. Now this, I don't think we've done yet, so this is going to be number 4, and this is going to be number 3, as I don't think we've done that yet either, that particular thing. Okay. Yeah, actually, I think that's fine. And then we can do something with the hi-hat. Hopefully something a little more interesting than just 8th notes. Let's see here. Nope. You know what? I'm just going to do this. Okay, we'll add that. Make sure I'm using the same one, even though it doesn't matter, because this isn't actually what it's going to sound like. It's going to be performed by instruments other than what we have here. So it's not going to sound like this at all, really, in the final product. But this is what we can use to work with it. If we do this. Actually, you know, we could just keep going with 16th notes here, or 8th notes. Yeah, actually. Yeah, we could do that. Finally have a different pattern, even though it's not too complicated. Number 1. There we go. Repeat, 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 and all that. Okay. Interesting. I think actually what I want to do is, because it goes back in on right before 13.4. So I want to do go back to 121. I don't really like that. I had an idea. What was it? Okay, so over here we could actually do on 13.4. Add that. See what that sounds like. So this would then become 4. Enter. We could do 4 for those. Okay, cool. So we have the first section, then we have the second section, and then we could have the verse again. We could do it a little differently when it comes back around if we wanted to. But being able to alternate between these two things, I think is actually pretty good. I think it sounds really chill. I like the chord progression. I like the rhythm that we have going on. It's not too complicated, and it should be relatively easy, straightforward to put into the software and to listen to. So let's go ahead and just listen to this. Listen to the whole thing. Listen to what it would be like basically in the game. Now the game, of course, it's a horde survivor, so it's going to be a bit more animated than what we have here. But let's just check it out. Actually, here's an idea to play around with momentum. If we take this 4 here, go back a little ways, break away from that rhythm that we were doing a second ago. Go ahead and do that. Take this, copy that over there, and then go back into the repetition of the 3s. Now, this is what I want to do here. Maybe here's what I'm hearing. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, let's go with that. We'll go ahead and copy that particular thing right over here. This will end up being 5, won't it? And then because we changed this, we did change that, right? We put it back. Okay, so this is 6. We can get rid of these. Go ahead and repeat that instead. Since we instead of just this also becomes 5. And then we have 0 and 1 for the hi-hat, basically. And technically this is wrong. This should be 2 because in all of these also have to be included where they do nothing. So that's what we have there. Copy and paste. Rename to 2. Paste again. We'll get that last one figured out. That last one sorted. Paste again. Copy, paste, paste. A lot of copy and paste. I don't want to make it too complicated because that would be so much work on the other side. And I don't think it has to be that complicated. I mean, it's basically background music, except it's what the game sounds like. So it doesn't have to be super nuanced or in your face, but this is the loop that we have. pretty nice. I think that works just fine. So how about I take a little bit of a break? It's been almost an hour now doing the stream. I'm going to get up and walk around. I suggest if you're able to, that you do the same. Get some water as well, very important. And then I'll come back here. I'm going to move Logic over to my other screen, I guess. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that, but then we'll get back into Game Maker and throw all of this information into Game Maker. And then if I'm feeling like doing it, we'll go ahead and give it a listen. Of course, honestly, now that I think about it, I'm not sure I feel like doing all of that on a stream right now. So I think instead what I'll do is over the next week, I'm going to try to fit in some time creating some code for a melody generator. And then I might also try to introduce a new instrument. I might even work on this some more. It depends. Whatever I feel like doing, I'm going to do it. And then I'll walk you through adding this information over to the project. Or if I do that, I'll tell you how I did it. We'll go from there, and we'll learn through the process together. So I think an hour is pretty much, at least with this, generally what I feel like doing any given day. Just an hour of streaming. It was a cool little break from the day, from the world and everything. I'm glad that you are here with me currently. Or in the future, if you happen to be watching this later. Of course, if you want to catch the streams live, you are certainly welcome to do that. I'm live every Friday so far, for the past 3 weeks, over on twitch.tv/musical mercenary, which I have not put on my face just yet, but I'll go ahead and add that. It'll be in the description of the video once I get it over to YouTube, and if you're watching it on Twitch, well, you already know where to go. So I think that'll work out just fine for you. In other news, if you would love to share this experience with other people, I would love for you to do the same. I could describe how incredible it feels to hear that that people are talking about and sharing the things that I'm doing. It's amazing, really. I didn't think anybody would mention all of this, much less show up and comment. I really appreciate that. I will see you next time as well. I hope you have a great week too. And in the meantime, thank you for existing. I look forward to our next conversation.